As interim principal, I want to welcome all of you to the beginning of this academic year at Emanuel College. I was not at Emanuel last year when students, staff, and faculty gathered, about 6 months into the pandemic, thinking then how strange it was still to be gathering virtually, and assuming that that manner of coming together would soon be over, and we'd be back in person again. And now here, another year later, we still gather virtually, all our classes online, and hoping that we may soon return to some version of that world we knew before March 2020, and yet aware that even when things change and we move back toward that time, the world won't be the same as it was for us before March of 2020. So I want to welcome you here to Emanuel College this fall, in this still strange but yet unfolding time. I wish we were able to be together in person, to have those casual conversations with one another in which we learn so much beyond what we learn in the class. And yet, over the last 18 months, we have learned. We've learned how to connect with one another, to grow and to learn, and to do those things virtually. Emanuel College has certainly adapted during the last 18 months, and those of us who are faculty and staff here want to try during this coming year to make your experience as a student here at Emanuel as good as we possibly can. You're coming to Emanuel College, and you'll discover here a very diverse community. You'll have students in your courses who are in the same academic program that you are in, and you'll also have students who are in very different programs. You'll meet students whose background is very similar to yours, and students whose background seems totally different from anything that you have known. And in that mix of persons, in that variety of backgrounds from which we come, and in the varied gifts each one of us brings, we, students, faculty, staff, form that diverse community in which we learn from one another. And it's that variety of gifts each of us brings, the variety that we bring to the whole, that this community is enriched. In my own Christian faith tradition, Paul, who wrote a number of New Testament letters, talked about the importance for a religious community of the variety of gifts that each individual brings. For it's in that variety brought together that the community is most whole and vibrant. You're joining a community of scholars here at Emanuel College. I taught for 25 years, not at Emanuel, but at a different theological school. And I know that I learned much from the students whom I taught. Some days I thought I learned more from them than they did from me. We are a community of scholars, and each of us again here are enriched by the different gifts that each of you will bring, that each of us contributes to that experience as a whole, for we're in this enterprise together. So, as this fall begins, I want to welcome you again to Emanuel College, to thank you for being here, and to look forward to your presence among us as you enrich this community by the gifts you bring. So welcome as we start this fall off.